Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Mandy and today we are going over steps to prepare now for your 2023 planner system and lineup. Meaning you might have one planner, you might need more than one, you might want more than one. So the first thing that I would want to have you do is get a notebook or note paper. And this is a great time to actually pick out a cute notebook for your year. I love the Happy Planner ones, especially because you can take things out and put things back in. I will kind of show you this notebook I have right here. It's got some really cool tabs. I've already taken one of the tabs out and put it in my planner. And I think it's really fun because you can basically have a tab for other things in your planner. Now, that's getting a little ahead of ourselves right now. I do have a classic size notebook, and these can be, you know, Frankenplanned, all of that. So, and sorry, I'm kind of like going back and forth. I also have this mini one as well. So this is a really good time to pick out a notebook. They're really not that expensive. You get tons of paper and about 3 double-sided tabs. But back to the actual tip, get note paper, get a pencil or a pen, and start thinking about the things that you want in your planner. Tip number 2, start listing everything you want to track. Don't worry about the order of things, just list it all. List every single thing that you want to track. And if you're like me, you'll already start, like if you say home, you most likely will start listing the things that have to do with your home. Go ahead and let all of that out as well. If it's work and then you have other things within work, list all those things. If you have just anything you can think of that you want to track, but you might have, you know, random thoughts come in and out here, go ahead and list it all. Don't list like the tiny nitty gritty things, but definitely list the things that you want to track. I'm not saying the things that you want a whole planner for. I'm saying the things that you want to track within a planner. All right, then step number 3, I want you to look over that list. I'm actually going to give you a little sample of mine here. Look over that list and pick your top 3 or even 5 if you're feeling ambitious items. I'm not saying you're not going to track the other things that you don't pick, but you don't want to have a bulky planner. You don't want to get overwhelmed. You don't want to overspend on some things that can be combined once you do find the actual planner you're going to choose for the year. All right, then tip number 4, look over your list and don't get, like, I could have kept going. This is just an example. I probably would have filled up this whole side of the paper here. Look over your list and then start subcategorizing. Take one of your picks, for example, home, and go ahead and list the things to add on as you think of them. So start writing what you want to track or plan in that category. Do this for all your top picks. So if you picked, you know, home, work, fitness, then you could, you know, use a separate sheet, but then go ahead and list all the little things that you want to track within home, all the little things you want to track within your work, all the little things you want to track within your fitness. Maybe family would be a whole separate planner of its own when, for example, I combine home and family. I would add cleaning to my home here. I would add, so family appointments, and then family activities. So you can kind of see where I'm going here. Meetings we might want to have. Now I also homeschool. So for example, I would make that a separate category. And then I would write all the things that I want to track within that category. Yeah, so as you can see, I can keep going, but having those categories listed out is going to be helpful. All right, tip number 5, analyze what you wrote and decide if you think you need a whole section or a whole planner for that item, or if some things are more like to-do list items that can be part of like a planner section. So do you actually need a whole planner for home? Do you actually need a whole planner for homeschool? Do you actually need a whole planner for, let's say, health and fitness? When for my fitness, let's just say all I'm tracking is my weight, food, workouts, and that's it. Not that that's not a lot, but do I need a whole planner for that? Do I need a whole planner, you know, like this, or whole section like this to take up space to track those 3 things? Could I probably track those things on one piece of paper, or am I going to want to track those things separately? So have that in mind. Kind of analyze. I'm going to put like a little disclaimer here. You're going to learn that along the way. If you're not familiar with planning at all, you are going to learn how you like to track. And that's why I said earlier, you really don't want to overspend on some things that can be combined. And then you have all these planners and realize you don't need them. However, that's not really a bad problem, because if you're like me, you can always go back and use them, just make some adjustments. But I definitely don't want you to get yourself in a pickle when you may not have needed to get a new planner for every single item. My suggestion would be to start with 1 or 2 planners, because maybe you fell in love with 2 and you couldn't decide. If you could decide on just 1, then do that. But most of the planners I have found that I use have, for example, nope, this isn't going to be the right one. I use a catch-all system that I've created on my own, because obviously, like, I want to, do it myself. But one of the planners I've really enjoyed and thought was really a good one to start when you have multiple things, that you want to track, is a dashboard, because you have all these other sections. Sections are nice because then you can figure out, if I'm planning health and fitness, that can go here. If I'm planning my, home and family, that can go here. If I'm tracking my homeschool, I can put my lessons here, and so forth. And then you can figure out if you need more space or a totally different section in your planner. All right, now let's see. You may not end up needing a whole section dedicated to that category, or you may want to end up using a catch-all weekly. And I will go ahead and show you that example in my current planner anyway. So I have all of my categories on one 2-page or, open weekly. Now, that's after me years of planning with different sections, different planners, putting them all together. I just found that I didn't like flipping, but I didn't know that until I actually started planning. I still sometimes get tempted to go back to the different planner for every section of my life. However, I still really don't like flipping back and forth to different sections. So I have come up with a catch-all weekly system that I really like and works for myself. You will find that out as well. Unless you already know that about yourself, you can skip some of those other steps. I would say no matter what, every year, probably even quarter, you should do all of the previous steps just to list out all of your categories and what you want to track, especially as your goals change throughout the year. A lot of times I list out my categories per the goals that I'm trying to meet. And I also have like necessities and then the goals that I want to meet. And then I try to figure out how to get that all in a system that works for me. So tip number, what are we on now? This next tip, I'll put it in the on the screen there. Start with now by researching. Get online, look at the Happy Planner. You can go to Michael's, Joanne's. Those are my 2 favorites. Happy Planner website as well. But any planner, I'm not just saying Happy Planner. And obviously you can tell, like, I love the Happy Planner because I can make my own things, take them out, put them back in within a matter of seconds, and I can use other planner systems in it as well. You can even watch YouTube videos if you don't want to get too caught up, just be careful. But you can watch YouTube videos to check out what other people are doing. I tell you, they will motivate and inspire you. Just make sure you reel it in if you're getting a little out of hand with how much you want to do, especially if this is your first planner. Okay, and the next tip is you're ready to purchase your planner or planners and get started. So if you're newer to planning, like I said, I suggest trying kind of a catch-all system or maybe the dashboard of the Happy Planner. I do have some options in my shop, so like this one, if you're interested in something like this, or I have other ones as well. If you're interested in trying those out where you just have to, purchase the printout, I'll link that below because then you have those forever and you can always, go back and forth to those. Let me know if these were helpful, you guys. I'd love to know what your top 3 categories are as well and what you end up choosing out of your categories. You can always add more categories in there, or you can go ahead and start trying to plan it all. It's just, I don't think you need a planner for every single category. However, it's up to you and your system. So as you go on, I really hope that you will keep in touch and let me know how your planning system goes. And if you need any other advice or video requests, I'd love to hear those in the comments below as well. I'm also on Instagram at Mandy_Chavez chapters, so you can share stuff with me there as well. So you guys, I hope this is helpful. Good luck with your your 2023 planner choices and system, and keep in touch. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.